Welcome to week 6 of ITS 410. This week we're doing some programming, and this program is going to have an error. We'll go over this error here in a minute because it means we actually have to get into the my.ini files and everything else. And trying to find them is a pain in the butt. I've just spent a lot of time just trying to find these. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to kind of scoot this one a little bit. So you actually only have 3 things to do, right? So section 1, 2, and 3 is actually just one stored procedure. So what you want to do is to go there. You just kind of want to go to stored procedures here and make sure of what you've got and make sure that it's all good to go and that you're clean. You'll see some errors in here, and again, we'll talk about those here in a minute. But the code is actually really easy to do. There's some really good sample code out on GitHub. So we're going to thank our GitHub support people. So I've already run this, and this is actually pretty good. And we're going to change this to toys and stuff, right? And the reason why I'm doing that is because I've already got these 2 things in here. We've already got a call fail for basses and for piano. So all it will do is error. You'll get the test fail call insert category, right? So when you run it, it should run clear. Procedure insert. Yeah, I've already got it. Already exists, right? But that tells me it basically runs. So you're good to go there. So this already exists. Just because I test this stuff out. It's all in pretty good shape in a lot of ways, but that's all basically it, right? We're just going to create a procedure, insert new categories, and then boom, it's just going to read from these. Call insert category 3 and 4. You know, maybe if we change that to 5 and 6, again, this is what I get for testing all this stuff before, right? Now, yeah, no, so it is all kind of gone. But I will take this code, even if it does not work, right? And again, it's that idea, at least it kind of works because it does work. You just already have stuff that's already in there. It's already in the database. And trying to go clear all this stuff out of the database is going to be a pain. It will try to roll it back if you can. But again, this is a really good chunk of code. So this takes care of lines 1, 2, and 3. And the problem is really going to come in on 4. And this is going to be a real kind of struggle, right? As you kind of go through this. And I'm a big fan of struggle. I don't like giving out all the answers on this. But I do want people to understand that, you know, this is where things get to be kind of interesting along the way. So you're going to run into an error here. Because of the way MySQL works, you actually have to change a line in the default install, right? So we have, and I'm going to go ahead and change some item IDs here to 10, 31. All right, so what's going to end up happening here, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get something that says a delimiter. All right, no determination factor at all. So we're going to go ahead and run it, and it should absolutely error out. Oh, it didn't error out this time? Oh, it did error out this time. All right, so the error that you got, right, the error that this looks like right here is this one, error code 1418. This function has none of the deterministic, no SQL reads or reads data in the declaration of the binary logging, blah, blah, blah. All right, so you go back and you take a look at what that actually means. And that means that you actually have to get into the ini file. That means you actually have to change some settings around on your MySQL. There are some great examples over on Stack Overflow, but I'm on a Windows, I'm sorry, strike that. I'm on a Macintosh, and I'm going to have to do some other things to get this thing to work. If you're on a Windows box, you're actually in a more advantageous state than I am in being on a Windows or on an Apple box. So as long as you give me this, as long as your code matches out what this looks like here, right, and I understand that, and we have this error, 1418, I'll take it, right? I'm not going to worry about your code not functioning well because you actually have to go into the configuration of your MySQL system. And that's a pretty long, involved kind of thing to be doing. And you'll see the same thing here for this next one, right? The last one that you've got where you're actually going through and doing an item total, right? And just remember you're in stored procedures. But again, when you run it, as long as I get that 1418, I'll know that at least ran, right? And I'll know that your code didn't like completely bail out in terms of internal but external, and that your system needed a little bit of help. And again, though, there's some great stuff out on GitHub to kind of help you out on this one, right? So definitely check out what's out there, right? Don't worry about it if you get error code 1418 or if you get 1304, because you're going to test it, and that means we're going to have all sorts of things being entered here or otherwise. But definitely do make sure that you've got this code in set so we can actually go ahead and take a look at it. Mostly just because I need to be able to read it. It's kind of small for me, but if I can see this is just going to be like, great, okay, I got it. We'll be good to go. But it's only 3 chunks of code, right? That's all I really need. The first 3 on this, write a script, stored procedure, insert, first code, so all this is just one script, and then this is one script, and then this is another script. So definitely do feel free to just send me 3 scripts when you're done, and then go ahead and send me your screen cap so that I've got this, and make sure that I have your error codes, right? If you need to, you can actually copy that row and then go ahead and paste that error code into your assignment as well as we got it. But going back and reconfiguring MySQL can be really quite the challenge. So again, if you're on an Apple box like I am, it would take me a while to try to figure out where everything's stored, because I've got 3 different versions of MySQL stored on this. So that's one. I have to go clean up my installs, and then I would have to find the right file to actually edit and go through and all the rest of it. And because I'm pretty much so stripped down just for testing, I don't even think I've got the my.ini file or my config file really super handy. So definitely don't worry about it. If you get 1304 or 1418, just go ahead and submit it as is, and I'll take it. But again, make sure that your code is good here. I'll probably pull your code and actually run it just to make sure of what we've got. So definitely do make sure of what you've got. All right, that's it for week 6. We're doing stored procedures. And again, don't worry about your error codes if it's 1304 or 1418. Just make sure I have all the what you see here on the screen. Just make sure I've got that. I've got your code. And if you need to or want to, just go ahead and copy off that error code message so I've got it and I know that what you actually did and how it actually worked. All right, that's it. Thank you much, and you have an awesome day. See you in the next lecture.